Okay, so a collection of bizarre stories I decided to do all in one video here. So, the first one, there's this woman named Alicia Moore, 24 years old. Now, before I say the whole story, there are children in this story and they are in danger in the story, but they do survive. They're okay right now. So just before I even get through the story, I have to tell you that part so your heart doesn't drop. So this woman goes to the mall with her 2 children and some man, which is not identified as their father, just some man. She gets out of the car, he gets out of the car, they leave the kids in the car. And this happened, 4 or 5 days ago, so it's summertime to me, even though it hasn't technically started yet, it's hot. Especially, I think she is in Georgia or something like that, so it could be hot there too. Anyway, doesn't matter. She leaves the 2 kids in the car, and yes, they are little kids, so like maybe 8, 7, something like that. And they go in the store, and according to loss prevention, that they were in there stealing or trying to steal. Now, they could have been profiled or whatever, but they were allegedly stealing while in the store. Then they look outside and her car is on fire. Not just a little bit, but a lot. To where it's engulfed now. And the kids are still in the car. And so people, of course, are seeing this because it's in the parking lot. And so they're rushing over, getting the kids out of the car. One of them did suffer burns on the ear and the side of her face. 1st-degree burns. And so they've survived that ordeal, at least physically. Mentally is a whole nother thing. But she dropped the items that she had. She was in Dillard's. And Dillard's is a department store, clothing store, you know, makeup, perfume, that type of thing, for those who don't know. And so she rushes, she drops the items that she was carrying around the store and then rushes out. And she gets arrested, naturally, for child neglect. But she has warrants for other things in a whole different county. And so she pled not guilty to child neglect. Yes, she pled not guilty to child neglect. And she's got these warrants for these other things, which is why she's still in jail right now. So what's going to happen going forward with this child here? Because her poor children have been scarred now psychologically for the rest of their lives because they were just trapped in a burning freaking car because their mother was elsewhere while she was stealing out of a Dillard's. And mind you, her warrants are for like fraud and this and like she's, yeah. And she's 24 years old, mind you. Good way to start your life off. So we start with the tower. This is her tower moment. So here's the thing. We don't even need to go no further than that, but here's the thing. When you have a tower moment, if you resist it, it's harder. If you let it happen and learn from it, it's easier. The tower is going to happen anyway. You cannot stop the pieces from falling. Because if you look back on the tower falling, you will see where you started to build it. So when she looked at her reality and didn't see anything better for her future as a single black mother type thing, then she began to grift and steal and so forth and so forth. So you see how a person can look at their reality, see no hope, and then see the only way to get things or to get nice things is to steal them. And so when you start with the bad mentality, you then make bad choices and then you create a tower for yourself. Then that tower is built on shaky foundation of you see no hope for yourself or you see no way out or you have no mentorship. And then that tower falls, it crumbles, it blows to hell, and then you can't stop it now. So what you're supposed to do in these situations is assess, how did this begin? And then let's not do that anymore. She has had a tower moment now. Maybe this is God's way of letting you know the most precious thing to you, you could have lost. Never mind what you were trying to take out of Dillard's or what your future is. What about these two people that you're responsible for that were trapped in a car full of fire? So here is your tower moment. Because not only did the worst of the worst possibly happen, but now everybody knows about it. So the Nine of Cups, there is wishful thinking. She wants a way out of this. The Three of Wands, the Moon card, which gives me the impression, and the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords. Yeah, life is going to get very hard from here on. And I get the impression with this, with the Nine of Cups, the Moon, Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands, you're not learning anything. Ruin. Loss, complete ruin. The Tower, I always say to me, the Tower is major arcana. Major arcana is supposed to be the big events of life. But to me, the Ten of Swords is worse than the Tower. The Tower is usually self-inflicted because we built it on shaky foundation and then it all crumbles down. Like I said, if you trace your Tower moment back, you will see where you started. The Ten of Swords is ruin and loss, and it can come from the outside because this is backstabbing. This is people wanting to be in your place, in your space, and it's ruin. Like everything is destroyed. When you have the Tower, at least you have the rubble. When you have the Ten of Swords, you got nothing. And so she's got all this. The Ten of Wands, burden, beyond burden, beyond burden. Anticipated. It's going to expand as well, too, because there's something else that they could tack on and something else that they can tack on. And I don't think you're going to get any sympathy, especially since you pled not guilty to child neglect when your children were alone in a car that's already guilty of child neglect, and then the car caught fire. How are you not guilty? You and some mysterious man were inside the Dillards. Even if you weren't stealing, why were your kids still in the car? How many stories do you need to hear of people's children dying in hot cars before you know to not leave your kids in a car, your dogs, your cats, or anything else? And then there's the Moon. The Moon is mystery. This is also tricks of the mind. So I don't think she is in the position right now, this wishful thinking, tricks of the mind, where she's going to learn anything. Word of warning is death. So there's a bunch of changes about to happen, but none of them in a good place. The Three of Cups, she may have some support from someone. Seven of Cups, Five of Pentacles, out in the cold. She's got a lot of losses coming, and I don't think she's going to learn anything. Not from this. That's a loss. That's a loss. That's a loss. These are major and heavy, too. I don't think she's going to learn anything, but good God. Those poor children, I mean, and Page of Swords on the bottom, so you got nothing but negativity coming your way. Okay, weird story number 2. A Tennessee woman, Melody Sasser, went to, she met a hiking buddy on Match.com, and they were good buddies for, I guess, a year or so, and then that guy met a girl, and they dated and hooked up and so forth and so forth. And so Melody, who met him on Match.com as a hiking buddy, I guess, or maybe they were friends and then the hiking started, I don't know, anyway. And so that guy went and found this other girl instead of Melody, I suppose. So Melody got a little jealous, and she hired herself a hitman. And it was on a website that is reported to the police. Now, the police have gone and, because she went on the dark web. That's where she, on the dark web. So she found him there. And she went back and forth with the apparent assassin because it wasn't done in the time frame that she paid for. She paid $9,800 or $9,872 or some weird number like that in Bitcoin. to have this thing done. And so when it wasn't done, then she's going back and forth and saying, hey, you know, when are you going to do it? Because I paid you. And then he or she, or whoever the reported hitman was, said, well, you didn't pay me more. And so she did. And eventually she was caught because nothing happened. No hitman, no nothing. They reported it basically to the police. And she has now been arrested. So what I want to know is, what does her future look like now? Melody Sasser. What does it look like now? Hiring hitman. She did send both of them a message to. So here's how they sort of got to her, because the website did not turn her in necessarily. The website was investigating, or sent it to investigators to investigate, because naturally she didn't use her real name. But they said we suspected to be her because she did send us a message saying she hopes we both fall to our death off a mountain or something of that nature. So she sent threatening messages to them, and so you can't help but think it might be her. The Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. Oh, she's got a lot of info about someone in dating. Knight of Cups is the dating card. Romance and charm and wit and things of that nature. Ace of Pentacles is something physical, worth money, or it's money itself. The Four of Cups, the Seven of Wands, the Moon, and the Ace of Swords. There's a lot about to come out. She's about to have to defend. Ace of Swords is clarity, and then there's your defense. The Moon, it is a bit murky though. It is a bit murky. The Four of Cups is there's some things that were ignored or are going to be ignored because they look like hearsay or something of that nature. So, but it's anyway. Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Seven of Cups, Ten of Swords. Complete ruin for you, madam. Complete ruin. So I think he will be found guilty, and complete ruin. Now, oddly enough, one more of these hitman stories. There is, I have no names for these because these two people are minors. One's 17 and one is 7. The 17-year-old apparently submitted the 7-year-old's child's personal information, including their name, their address, identifying details where the child could be found, to the website rentahitman.com. Now, mind you, this website is a parody, so it is not a real hitman website. Rentahitman.com actually goes to, well, sometimes it goes to the Storm Lake Police Department. And so it features fake testimonials. It features like a request form to have a job done. It has an application on it if you want to be a hitman yourself. They actually did arrest someone once who submitted an application to be a hitman. So this 17-year-old submits this child's info for a hit. And that 17-year-old has been arrested. So what will their future look like? No, that's not what the question was. Why? That's what I wanted to know. Why the hit on the 7-year-old? What is that about? Is it just a mental disorder? Is it a jealousy thing? Because it does not say that they were siblings or anything like that. So why? 17 and 7. So you have the Seven of Cups. Confusions, choices. The Seven of Pentacles. Oh, good Lord, it's all the sevens. Seven is in the tarot, it's a number of assessments. Seven of Pentacles, assessment. Seven of Wands, defending. Seven of Swords, thievery, which is also still an assessment, a strategy of some sort. The Seven of Cups, there needs to be a strategy to figure out. The Seven is the Chariot. That's also strategy, pulling things together. The other seven is 5 and 2. What's the other seven? No, 4 and 3. So 14, that's 5. 16, that's 6, 7. So Tower is the other 7. No, Tower's 15, right? No, the Devil's 15. I don't know. I think it's the Tower. The Tower is 16, which makes it number 7. So again, assessment, destruction, defense. Okay. Oh, there's the Devil. King of Swords. 5 of Pentacles. Nine of Wands. Knight of Cups. 2 of Cups. The Death card. The 5 of Cups. This is a child with depression. The 17-year-old has some sort of deep depression and loneliness. There is something about the child that they may be jealous of, or they see something in they do not like to the highest degree. They get someone's love or someone's attention with the 2 of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Devil. They get someone's attention and they feel left out and depressed. I get no indication this was a joke. Lord have mercy. Watch your kids. Watch your kids. Pay attention to what they do. I can't.